it for some. Who are you? Okay? I'm going to be damn well who I want to be. I'm not going to compromise my principles, my integrity, my honor for any man. Okay? And if it gets me dead, so be it. Let God's will be done. Okay? Because the worst that these people, these hypocritical elitists, the Illuminati class, these top rulers, these illegitimate overlords, a gaggle of murderous, contemptuous, ruthless thugs that are running our lives by creating our policy and making us miserable. No accountability, no checks and balances. Things just keep on descending. They're going against the will of the people. Back in 2008, the banking bailout, the takeover, okay, that's what it was, with Harry Paulson in Congress threatening, oh hell, if you don't step in now, I mean, we've got such a mess, we're going to have martial law on the streets, the whole system's going to fall apart. You know, that's economic terrorism. These people make me sick. These are the ones that need to be arrested. Guys like Harry Paulson, guys like Alan Greenspan, guys like Bill Clinton for getting rid of the Glass-Steagall Act. That's who needs to be arrested. That's your criminals, law enforcement. Don't go kicking people out of their houses. Don't you be the bank's little whore. Don't you do their dirty work for them anymore. You say, you go pack heat, you bankers. You want that house? You want your ill-gotten booty? Then you go get it. I don't want to do it. I won't do it. And if I was a cop, I wouldn't do it. And if I was a military man, I wouldn't do half the things I'm told to do. And if they don't like it, that's tough. Because I'm going to make damn sure before I go in there and join an entity like the military or law enforcement, I'm going to make damn sure they know where I stand. And it's with the Constitution of the United States of America and with we the people. Okay? And you know what? We're not going to see any of our problems get any better, okay, until we get control of the money printing presses. It's that simple. Do you understand? That's it. Everything else is nibbling around the edges. There is no hope. We're just going to keep descending and descending further and further into the disparity between haves and have-nots. Greater and greater misery and suffering invented by a gaggle of murderous thugs. Is that the world you want to live in? Is that the world you want to give to your children? Is that the world you want for your grandchildren? Okay? It's not what I want. I'm not tolerating it. You tolerate it all you want, but just remember this, you'll answer for it someday. You're complicit. You've got a conscience you'll answer to. Okay? And we've been gifted a few fail-safes from on high, because all good things come from above. God, our Creator, has given us fail-safes. And one of those is the conscience. Always drawing us back, always saying, hey, it's getting kind of hot in there. You're going to start cremating some part of your essence, some aspect, some facet, some component of your character and your nature. You're resisting what is irresistible to go with the flow of conscience and to say, hey, there is a difference between right and wrong. And damn it, I don't care who says what. I'm not buying it. I'm going with my conscience. I'm going to follow the spirit of truth. That is the Spirit of God. That's the Holy Spirit. And if you blaspheme against that, if you deny your own conscience, you are the one that will answer for it. You're buying your own ticket to hell. It's not a mean, vengeful God that's going to send you to hell. You're sending yourself to hell by saying, hey, it's okay. The system's okay. It's just capitalism. Oh, come on. Just go with the flow, man. Just accept your lot into poverty. A beggar, looked down on as you're inferior, you're the weak, you're the stupid, you're the lazy one because you're poor. I'm not buying any of that rhetoric. That's lies from the pit of hell. And if you want to embrace those lies, have to it. Have to it. But just remember, again, it's not a mean, vengeful God. This is a God that says he wishes none to perish, but all to come to repentance. That's the God of heaven. And that God of heaven wants us to have heaven on earth, and it's coming, and nothing can stop it. Not all the combined forces of darkness are going to stop what's coming to this earth, and they know it. And they're getting crazy, they're getting wild, because they know they've gotten away with just about all they can. Now back for a moment to the snake eating its tail analogy. And the reason I say that is because now you got the government through these social welfare programs. These are good paying jobs, most of the government jobs are traditionally. They take a higher education and all that to get into a lot of these things. So they've encouraged, on one hand, you got one part of the government agencies that, want higher property values because they get a higher tax base. It makes, it's very simple mathematics. So they get more revenue. So they've got more funding. They can give themselves a raise. And often that's exactly what they do with the extra money from property taxes. So you see, it's very simple why they want to increase the value of the homes. When they sell, they get, from there on out in perpetuity, they get these higher taxes without actually raising the percentage. I mean, property taxes, you might, it's only 1%, it's only 1.25%. That's why they want to get the prices so high, because they can only get away with that. Okay, why don't we get crazy? Why don't they raise the property value at 50%? Okay, then how would all these people that are making fortunes in the real estate business, how would they do that if the government stepped in there and did? You understand? It doesn't matter the source of your oppression; it's coming. Okay, so understand this: your taxes go up, and there's no end to it, because they need to keep feeding the beast. So actually, what they end up with is they're strangling themselves. It's a snake eating its tail, because of the fact that they can only get so far before the people don't tolerate it anymore, because there's too many people involved, because they lose all the weak ones through attrition. They just dissipate. So we've lost the weak ones, have died out in the cold. They're dead. They got beat up and killed by a thug. They died. They committed suicide. They willed themselves dead. So you get those people that drop, they're gone. They're not from the picture anymore. But then you get too many people that are the strong ones, the survivor class, I call them. And they're starting to rise up. So again, you've got these people that insist on the right, the entitlement, because an entitlement's the same as a right to survive. You have a God-given right to survive, and no man can stop you. Do what you want to do. Hey, there's nobody living on this property. Build yourself a nice shelter. Defy the law. Civil disobedience. That's a fine line that these people are walking. They don't want it to turn into a situation of mass disobedience, civil disobedience. Because you get enough people, you get 85% of those people in San Francisco are renters and paying exorbitant rents. Okay? And they all unify and they say, that's it, man. We're done. Have fun, cops. Have fun evicting 85% of the residents of San Francisco. Do you know how many people that is? Hundreds of thousands. How many cops are there? Folks, we outnumber them by a multitude, okay? Exponentially, we outnumber these. So listen, it's not the cops' fault, but they should have signed an agreement saying, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that before they join the force. That's what they should have done. Okay, now they're stuck, they're tasked, they're the ones that got to go kick people out. They got to go evict people that can't pay these exorbitant rents. They got to go evict people that took on a liar loan that was promoted by the banksters to steal your house. So not only do they get paid back 100 cents on the dollar for this scam, for dumping all this money on the market, which the removal of Glass-Steagall Act allowed them to do, to dump all this money on us, knowing, it was deliberately knowing that what the destruction it was going to cause to the mortgage and housing market, the financial services industry. They knew what they were doing, how it was going to destroy people's lives, the misery it was going to invoke on the people. They knew darn well what they were doing. These are criminals, man. So all this stuff was invented and created. Okay, they knew they would blow out the pipes of the economy by doing what they're doing, because they couldn't get away with this with automobiles. No, they had to pick on a commodity that was an essential human need. And that's what housing is. It's shelter. You need it. It's the most fundamental thing as just a creature on the face of the earth you're going to seek out. Just like a bird instinctively makes its nest. A fox instinctively makes its hole. Well, a human being instinctively builds a suitable dwelling for he and his family. It's what a man does. So don't buy this lie that these people are feeding you. Don't buy their paradigm. That doesn't make sense. Listen, I've studied up one side, down the other. These people are lying, thieving, murderous gaggle of thugs. These establishmentarians, if you're just going along and you think you're safe because, well, I'm not part of those top class, you're a minion, witting or unwitting. You are complicit. So you are a co-conspirator. Okay, and you will stand before your Creator, and you will accept the blame, and you will go to the place that you deserve. And if you're a hypocrite, if you believe in a double standard, that it's okay, that you're well-heeled, you're successful, you're prosperous, and I'm so sorry all you people are locked out of that arena, But you know, I love it. I love my money. I love this scene, man. And you know, it's a shame the social Darwinism taking over and the weak being destroyed. Survival of the strongest. And in this case, it doesn't even mean the strongest. It means the meanest. It means the ones that are willing to step outside the bounds of common human decency. Those are the people running your lives, your children's lives, your children's children's lives. If we tolerate this, if we accept this, if we let these people get away with this, what do we have to look forward to? What? It's just going to be worse and worse and worse. We're going to be envying the residents of Mexico or India or China. That's what these people will do if we let them. Are we going to let them? Military, are you going to let them? Law enforcement, are you going to let them? Whose side are you going to be? Are you going to be on the side of right and good, of we the people, on the Constitution of the United States, or are you going to be on the side of these wicked, ruthless, miserable thugs, okay? And back to '08, that takeover of '08. Although 90+% of the American people were opposed to it, it didn't stop a damn thing. Both Obama and McCain, remember it was during the campaign, right down to the wire of the campaign, both of them, knowing they would have been a shoo-in to win if they had gone against that thing and said, you know what, this is outrageous. This is illegitimate. We are not going to validate the theft of the wealth of the people of our nation. Did either one of them do it? No. Neither one of them do it. They're both a couple of cowards. JFK wasn't a coward. He wanted to do right by the American people, not just the American people, but